Right guys, Mark Crossfield here. I'm at Torquay Golf Club with...
Hello everybody.
Dan Hendrickson. And we're going to do a little bit of a shaft video. I've done loads of these before. I did some with Buzzer years ago. These kind of videos get an interesting response because there are a lot of people who want to be out there, want to feel like the shaft has... But there's a lot of people reading a lot of websites and a lot of data. You know, they're getting really geeking out on the 2.5, 6.5, 7.25, effect spin, tip stiff.
All that.
You know?
Jazz.
Now I used to do custom fits at Clifton when I first started doing videos, and I had people travel like from all around the world to come for custom fits, right? And I stopped it because I had guys coming from Germany, I had guys coming from Australia, and they knew every shaft. They knew the name of every shaft and what it should do. Yet they would come for a lesson and deliver like 9 down with a driver, face 12 out into a par. Like there's no shaft that's gonna, so I stopped it. I just started calling them lessons. I told people when they booked, I told the guys at the desk to not allow them just to book in for custom fits because it felt like wasting their money because they would come and I would just want to teach them. So we're gonna do a little test. I've done this with pros. It often kind of spins them out because it contradicts their ideas of the basic ideas of shafts. And I think golf pros are a bit lazy with this. So we've got two very extreme shafts. What we got there?
So we've got the Hazardous. Project X Hazardous. It's an X Flex 76 gram low spinner.
Okay, and we're going to use the
We're going to go Rogue. 9 degree head with set standard. Everything's standard on there.
And then we're going to compare to
the ladies again. Rogue Aldilla shaft, women's shaft they call it. It's a 43 gram shaft, mid kick.
Quite different.
Very different, yeah.
Let's get stuck in. So starting in the Hazardous. Feels probably quite heavy, quite rigid.
Exactly, yeah. It feels quite weighty. I can't tell you where it feels weighty, it just feels heavy. And it feels like I'm going to miss it a bit right. How much of a shaftoid are you going back in your playing career? You care about what shaft you're using or not? I think every half decent player will go through a spell of wanting to put the perfect shaft in what they feel is it. What guys are using on tour, things like that. But nowadays, to be honest with you, it comes down to a feel thing for me. You know, I don't really care what's written on it. If it feels right and performs what I want it to kind of do and feel in the hands, then I don't care.
Okay, but would you care if I gave you a soft, so rather than I'm presuming you've got stiff written on most of your shafts in your bag. So if I was to give you something that didn't say stiff on it, let's say it was regular or even light, you would instantly probably, looking at it, think, oh, I'm not sure this is going to be right for me. I would
question I'd want to go out and test it, but I would question it, you know, the stability of that shaft, what sort of shots it's giving me, and the height it's going to produce as well, what ball flight. So that's what I'd be questioning.
Dan knows many of my questions I asked him are fully loaded, so he answers very, very diplomatically. I would argue if I got him as an amateur, he and I had these conversations, and I've done it with top amateurs in the county who believe in I did this with Kevin, I did this with John White.
Oh yeah.
And it blew their socks off because they were like, no, that'll do that and this will do that and that feels like this and that feels like that. Because it was back years ago I did it, so it was a little bit more before everyone knew that I questioned everything. They just thought, oh, Mark's got the launch monitors, I want to measure, and he understands the measurements. And I showed him a few things, and I remember John White walking out saying, well, that isn't right.
Good old Whitey, well done.
But it was like you just showed him the facts, and he couldn't
get his head around it.
12 years of growing up being told certain things, he just couldn't let it go. He couldn't.
And to be fair, when we were going around playing county events, a lot of the talk was about golf shafts.
Oh,
we were good.
So we're going to start with the Hazardous. This shaft tube makes it feel like it's going to go more right or more left.
More right.
Yeah, you feel like you're going to lose this off to the right more. How much of that do you reckon is real, and how much of that is the baggage that many bring?
I think a lot of it's the baggage, but
But you believe it. You think it's you?
Absolutely, but it's we've been informed from the companies, shall we say, that the stiffer you go, the heavier you go.
Yeah.
The quicker you've got to swing it in order to get the club to work properly or get to the shaft to work properly.
That's the common belief.
But my experience says that whenever I've used a driver, whether it's a stiff or whatever it is, that's heavy, a bit like that green one we tested in your S.
Yeah.
That white one we tested. I felt that was really hard work for me, and therefore I felt like I was going to lose it right.
So your reactions are now going to play a part as much as anything, aren't they?
That should do, yeah.
That's just changing the shaft. So, what were you going to say?
Like grip.
Yeah, grip would make as big an effect.
Well, I feel like
shaft.
I feel like in this particular test, the grip is having a bigger. Grip.
So thickness of grip, feeling of grip
as well. Yeah,
absolutely will make you feel like you can do different things.
Yeah,
and we'll look at the data in a second, and I reckon you could have a strong case to prove that would have almost as much of an effect as what the placebo of the shaft often can have. But it's not as sexy, it's not as golf geeky.
Yeah.
And in my experience of custom fitting, the grip is just bunged on at the end. It's like, what grip do you like that one? We'll put that on.
Size your hand. Yeah.
But it's because it's a male-dominated buying group of people, and that ego just plays a massive part. It's sad but true.
It is.
Let's do this lady shaft. I hate that term, lady shaft.
It's not a lady shaft. What feels nice is.
So we've got the lady shaft as so called now. So what was the gram of this one?
This is 43.
43 gram shaft. Yeah. Go on, what feels nice?
Just the length of it, I suppose.
So it's shorter, which will work into the data a little bit as well. So this shaft put into your hands on the first tee of after qualifying for the Open, say, you're going to think, I can't play this.
I would be a bit twitchy on the first tee with this shaft in my hand, definitely.
Because it feels light, wobbly,
less stable. I would feel that I couldn't go after it like a normal drive if I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's just on 262, by the way.
Shall we look at some data?
Yes, let's do that.
So we're going to start with the hazardous.
Yeah.
I mean, just the name of it, I think, is hilarious. What I think is interesting is even the way shafts are named and labelled is so macho, it's so almost car-centric, it's like it's playing into this whole shafts the engine guff that is peddled by so many.
How many guys have you played against where they look at the shaft, it's a different colour? Ooh, what's that? What
100%. I've had people come up like, what shaft you got in that? And they really want to know. And I get it on club reviews. What shaft were you using in that?
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
It's one that I like the feel of. So you shouldn't be watching this review and thinking the shaft I choose is going to have any reflection on what they choose.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they're getting this information. Like, where is this being? I've been anti this for years, but it's being like it feels like it's being really diluted at the moment. Like people are being fed other ideas.
Do you not think it's like, if I think about all the marketing that comes out from these companies, okay, you look at just at Callaway there that we're talking about today and the Rogue. Yeah. There's not one picture there of the shaft. So it's almost like it's a we don't talk about it situation.
Well, they don't make shafts.
No, I understand that.
That's why they don't talk about it.
But if you think about all the shafts that are on the tall vans and this, that, and the other, it's almost like it's a secret club, isn't it? And people just get so excited because they don't actually know much about it because there's not a lot of information that's chucked at you. You have to go and research it a lot to get it, don't you?
Yeah, well, the trouble is the information is player specific, so arguably it's all worthless.
Yeah.
Right, hazardous. Let's look at some ball data. You're launching at 11.3.
Yeah.
Would that, in your opinion, be higher or lower than where you think the women's is launching?
Well, it should be, in my eyes, it should come out lower.
Pause the video, post comments down below. Hazardous launching at, where's it gone? 11.3 average. Is that going to be a higher launch or lower launch than the women's? Post those comments down below. Come on, let's hear you. Paused it.
Pause.
And you, Jim. That's it. Well done. Let's check. So this is the ladies' Aldila. 9.8. Consistently low. Only 1 in 11. So that's not what you would expect.
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. I thought I would have been popping that up at like 15.
That is the strike pattern with the ladies. And that is the strike pattern with the hazardous. I would argue that strike pattern on average is lower. So you're averaging centre and 4 heel with hazardous. And you're averaging centre and 1 heel with
the ladies.
Aldila. But you had your highest hit 8mm high, 8mm high.
Yeah.
So you had high and low.
High, yeah.
Yet nothing launched high. That is not what people are going to expect. I've done this with Buzzer, I've done it with me, I've done it with you. If I had time, I'd do it with everyone. There will still be plenty of people out here who will be questioning this data, this collection, this idea, because too many people in golf, and I think the journey shows this better, and it will as it continues, want to believe. Rather, unfortunately, you've got to practice. You've got to get your skills better.
Yeah.
There is a limit to what any of this can do, where so many want to believe. And when you sit at a desk all day, this is quite fun to do because you can't practice. So it is quite fun to read the blogs, learn about the shot, get a bit statter about it. Yeah. Again, it's something that is more of a what I would call a desk golfer than a real golfer.
Is this the same results as what you and Buzzer were getting as well?
Very similar. Blew Buzzer's head.
I bet it did. He likes his shaft, doesn't he?
So we go back to hazardous. Spinning at 3,058 average.
That's all right for me.
The lady shaft's going to spin more or less?
More.
Party in the shop. So pause the video again, post it in the comments down below. The lady shaft, is it going to spin more or less? Pause down there, post in that comment section. Go on. And be honest with yourself. Don't try and think that I haven't seen the results yet, that I'm just trying to trick you, or that, oh look, Mark's just kind of putting it out there again. Just post your honest ideas down there. Lady shaft spun more. 3.2. So 3.252 so 200 revs?
200, yeah. It's just under 200. Just under
revs.
200 revs.
Yeah, we've seen your strike averages in a different place by, what was it, like 4mm or 5mm. Yeah. Possibly that could contribute to that number as much as anything else.
Certainly those last two felt
Look at them.
Yeah.
2.6 spin with the ladies, shorter, lighter shaft. So let's go distance. Ladies one, Aldila, 2.55 average with your longest 2.261 balls.
Yeah.
Hazardous, 2.53, longest 2.66. So 2.53 to 2.55. The ladies is averaging longer, but you had your longest hit from the hazardous. But as we've done our on-course testing and shown, all within 3 yards. And that's carry when you get a bit of bounce, get a bit of roll, get some wind. There's just so much more that's not going to be seen.
No.
We take that on the course, that's not going to be seen. One other point, peak height, which one's going to go higher? So the ladies, peak heighting, averaging 31 yards. What do you reckon on the hazardous, higher or lower?
I would have said before this, it would be going lower.
Much lower.
Much lower.
33 average. Now this is only 7 shots. We could take a capture for longer.
Yeah.
I would say the strike pattern is pretty good and the story has been told enough in that. Mm-hmm. I've done custom fits with people where I get them stop them hitting clubs very quickly because they start adjusting, they bring their baggage, so you can say hit more. That's just the people who are desperate for this not to be true. Mm. If I can't see your patterns from those 7 decent hits, then I'm not a decent pro. Those kind of statements for me, which they will be there, from people who are just desperately seeking some clarification for why they upcharge their shaft to that £400 shaft. They just want it to be. They don't want this to be true. So if we look at your dispersion then, so you had the hazardous one way right, one left, and then a good grouping. We're very tight with the ladies. Aldila. So here's an interesting one. Which shaft is closer to what you play out of the two?
The hazardous would be.
probably 1 step away from where you play, and the ladies is
slightly lighter, but it's
and the ladies is nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
And it's shorter.
And it's it's shorter.
You hit it further.
Yeah.
And got quite an impressive dispersion. I wouldn't get you to gain that lady shaft from those numbers because I don't think you'd like the feel of it.
Yeah, and that would be the issue, wouldn't it?
100%. I've said it now when I did the last shaft videos. Feel, how you react, how you try and compensate for what's in your hand and feel over time will have a huge influence. More than any poster, any marketing department, any... Look, it's easier for me, right, to make the geek out shaft flex is king, and shaft flex and weight. I would say weight has a big influence on flex. Flex has very small influences apart from on people's feels. But it's much easier for me as a golf pro to do what golf pros are meant to do. Tell you that it's important. Tell you that the stiff goes lower and a bit more to the right, and the regular will go higher and the ladies will turn left. You would all believe me more. Like, this video is harder actually to do for winning fans than it is if you make the other one. But for me, I just see it as golf pro rubbish, golf pro kind of blagging. Because when I do this test with golf pros, even some, like I said earlier, they walk out going, well, that's not right.
How many golf pros have done this test?
Well, here you go. If shaft flex is so important, how can you have a lesson of someone who doesn't understand every flex on the planet? If it's affecting delivery that much, why on earth are you having a lesson of anyone who hasn't just got racks and racks of shafts? Like, the logic just isn't there. I'm going to show you something which is quite interesting, because the biggest denominator here is always the person. The person far outweighs what this does. And it's so player specific. Angle of attack with the hazardous, 0.8 up with only 1 down. You were all down apart from 1 at level with the ladies. Conscious decision or not?
No. I'm trying desperately to hit up on the ball nowadays.
But do you see what I mean? When you've got a club that you perceive is gonna go higher, you change your angle of attack. Because you bring your baggage.
Absolutely right.
He's reacting to what the really heavy stiff one, he kept saying it's going to go to the right. He told me, not sure if I got it on camera, feels like it's going to go a bit lower. You change. This is why doing a data capture of 100 shots is pointless with a human being, because they react. I don't know why this message is getting so diluted, because it's not complicated. The people I see putting the message out there more than anyone else, shaft flex is the engine, la-di-da, it's either manufacturers or it's people who own shaft flex, people who own custom fit companies, and they're doing some videos, and they, we're custom fit specialists. Look, and they've got some great info as well, these people, but they're so sided towards wanting an upgrade of a shaft. Look, I'll be brutally honest here. People aren't going to like this, right? But I'm going to say it. You do not make much money selling golf equipment. It's like they're 500 quid, but you're making small amounts because it's so tight with so many people. It's like so competitive. And upgrading a shaft, am I allowed to say this? I'm going to say it.
Go on then.
You can double your money.
Of course you can. You
can sell shafts for £400 and that they're costing you maybe 250 or 200 quid. I have no friends, and I've just lost so many, haven't I? I'm sorry, but it's true. But
one shaft now.
This is what it looks like, isn't it? This is what people want to see. It's what's in their head, and it's fun.
They love it when they come in here and see all these different shafts.
Now look, I'm not saying don't go and get fit. Absolutely get fit. It's been my message from the start. When I do videos like this, you know what a common question is? Well, why should I get custom fit then? Custom fit is not about the shaft, it's one part of many parts. If you're someone with that in mind, that's going through your mind, and there'll be someone who's probably already posted that question because they haven't got to this bit in the video, got a bit frustrated that their little world is, Santa now doesn't exist and they can't believe it. We'll post that. If you think going to get custom fit is about getting the right shaft and that's it, then you are not going to get better at golf.
For me, it's about a feel thing. Purely on feel. So when I was recently fitted for some irons, I went through probably 5 or 6 different shafts that they had on in the rack, and it was purely, I chose it purely on feel. That's it, nothing else.
And that's great advice. That's what I would advise everyone to work towards, unless the data for you, your reactions to one shaft to another show any glaring massive differences. Feel has to be that overriding factor. Interesting, isn't it?
Oh.
I love doing this. So many people just do not understand this and want to go down that shaft rabbit hole. But you won't gain that shaft.
No.
Because it leads back to your feel.
But
just one more point which I want to put in, actually I forgot to mention, actually, it's an interesting one. So we're about an inch shorter on the ladies shaft. Yeah. So the ladies lie of the driver, when you're hitting the ladies aldilla, is 6.3 toed up. The hazardous is 8.9, so 2 to 2.5 to 3 degrees difference. So the lady shaft, more flexy, la-di-da-di-da, is bowing down more, putting that toe down on the ground more.
You would think so, but I think it's probably more length, isn't it, more than anything
I
else?
don't know the maths, I'll try and find out, but it's you got an inch less on the shaft, so your lie is not going to be the same.
No.
I would say
so
maybe...
that's 2 degrees. Well, an inch is going to be about 2 degrees on...
Correct, half an inch on
half
static.
An inch on static is going to be a degree.
Correct.
So, yeah, perfect.
So for all intents and purposes, you're delivering that exactly the same, apart from you've got different length clubs. Obviously, if we made that a foot-long driver, it's going to be delivered toe down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you get on your knees.
Yeah.
I'll flex that shaft down.